Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin. The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left a state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage, used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive.
When you wake up this morning, I want you to think about a few things. In your life, what makes you happy? Is it family, relationships? Is it working or building your career? Is it school or education? What makes you happy every day? What makes you eager to start your morning? Now, while you're doing this, I want you to block any negative thoughts that you have. This is the time of day where you begin to invite positive thoughts into your mind. I want you to think about gratitude, being thankful for the things that you have in your life. Being thankful that you woke up this morning, that you have a job, a place to sleep. Being thankful that you have people around you that truly love and support you. Now make sure when you walk through today, you do it with a positive mind and live by the law of attraction. Believe 100% that positive things will happen throughout the day. And even if things don't go as planned, do not spend time focusing on that. Everything that you want in your life can be achieved. And it's up to you to go out and make it happen. And remember, express positive energy and you will get positive things back in your life. This is how you live by the law of attraction. At what point did you think this was going to be easy? At what point did you think this was going to be handed to you? This is life. Every moment, every second, as precious as the next. I don't care if you've lost. I don't care if you failed. I don't care if you've hit bottom. As long as that hunger still lies inside, as long as that light still flickers, you fight. We fight for the people that believe in us. We fight for the moments, we fight for the seconds. We fight for the pride. We fight for the dreams. We fight. We always fight.
Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
Today we are going to continue our discussion of the person who is an opportunist. I'm going to read two essays to you discussing being an opportunist. The first essay discusses a negative connotation associated with the word opportunist. People make judgments. They judge the moral and the integrity of the person who is an opportunist. Many times an opportunist is called a no good person, a person who takes advantage of other people. Here is the essay entitled How to Be an Opportunist. Be wary of Lindsay. She is just an opportunist. I heard someone say right after we left our business meeting. Lindsay seems to be getting all the easy assignments, whereas the rest of us seem to be doing all the heavy work. Everyone seems to dislike her, claiming that Lindsay is the office opportunist. It is this constant reference to her as an opportunist that made me interested in who an opportunist actually is and how to be one. First and foremost, it's important to know that being an opportunist is not necessarily a bad thing. It is just that society tends to give opportunists a bad reputation. According to the Merriam Webster Online Dictionary, the term opportunity is referred to as one, a favorable junction of circumstances, and two, a good chance for advancement or progress. What this means is that an opportunity is simply a person who sees an opportunity and takes advantage of it. Say it again. An opportunist is simply a person who sees an opportunity and takes advantage of it. Such a person seizes an opportunity that comes their way to their advantage. Most people have the misconception that opportunists are bad people, but that is just that, a mere misconception. As a matter of fact, most smart and successful people will advise you to be an opportunist. In order to be a successful opportunist, it is important to have a certain mindset. One needs to first and foremost strategize, focus on the future, and reach a decision on the most viable opportunities that are worth taking. It entails being agile and a think tank that focuses on what the future has to offer. It needs one to weigh the pros and cons of every opportunity that presents itself. An opportunistic person is therefore aware of the fact that not every opportunity is worth taking. Such a person ought to have a very wide perspective of the different ideologies presented before them. An opportunistic person asks themselves how much more advanced would their life be if they took up more opportunities. This is something that requires a lot of balance, a lot of creativity, and a lot of optimism. It is only after undertaking a thorough study of opportunistic people that I learned that Lindsay is not at all a bad person, but rather a very smart person. She is not lazy. She made up her mind that she had to pay attention to what was going on around her and what people were coming into her life and out of her life to realize whether or not they were bringing something good to her. On the other hand, if you look at the people who were talking about Lizzie, one woman in the lunchroom said, "Girl, every time I see Lindsay, she is in someone's face. She's always talking to people, trying to get everything out of them. Doesn't this woman sound envious and lazy at the same time?" Now, let us think about Lindsay's position. Lindsay wants to get ahead. Lindsay wants to learn and live the best life she can. The other women sitting in the lunchroom making nasty comments saying that Lindsay is always in someone's face. She's always talking to people, trying to pimp them for information. Yet these same women gossiping in the lunchroom, in the next 10 years, they will be doing the same thing, talking about Lindsay or a woman just like Lindsay. These women will still be pinching pennies and gossiping, never seeing if they had changed their attitude about meeting people and talking to people about different subjects. They might have been able to change their lives. See, an opportunist is a person who is ripe for controversy and anger and resentment from other people. Yet, here is a point to consider. The people who that are speaking negatively of Lindsay, they've never tried to change their lives. They've never given any thought to if they stop following the crowd, they could be living a better life and not be driving a used car. They would not be arguing with their husband every night over their bills and their children not learning at school and they're living in a poor neighborhood. Being an opportunist does not mean that you are abusing people or misusing them or stealing from them or lying from them. You see a situation that can help you and you act on it right away, then and there. We're not talking about mishandling someone who is mentally handicapped. We're not talking about setting someone up to steal their check after they get off from work. We're not talking about someone spreading their legs in front of another woman's husband. We're talking about someone that clearly sees an opportunity and they seize it. Consider this for a moment. There were people who wanted to see inside the water. They believed that there was something inside the water that they needed to see. They believed that there were organisms inside of that water. They called the things that they believed to be in that water microbes. And in order to see these microbes, they invented the microscope. What about the people who believed in electrical power? Just by watching the lightning from a storm, they sought to harness this power, and they also sought to harness the power of water. These people invented the generator and the windmill. What about the people who wanted water to flow directly into homes rather than everyone using the community well? These people conceived of another system of aqueducts. All of these people were opportunists. They took advantage of the situation and they won. Did not spend their lives sitting among others speaking negativity into their lives. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now, dear male listeners, our show may be called Women of Courage, but our name should not stop you from listening to our show. You have as much to learn and to consider as women. Why? Because many of you are fathers, sons, and brothers, and you need to understand those forces and situations that affect the female members of your family. So we do implore you to listen to our show with an ear for understanding. Thank you.
Life is at its best when you get to the mountaintop. Nevertheless, at times we lose our way and land in the valley. Adversity comes and shakes us in fear. What do you do at such a time? Where do you get your strength when it's gone? Be Not Defeated in Hard Times is the book you need to overcome such fears and gain back your strength. It's cheap, $10.95 only. To purchase this book, log into touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications before it's out of stock.
Here is the second essay on the word opportunist. The essay presents a different point of view. Its focus is on the opportunist point of view, how this person views the world and his or her position in the world. It also brings to mind how this person views the world with respect to being able to change their circumstances within the world. Here is the second essay. In the face of misfortunes, we tend to lose our focus and our hearts. Though our outer self might be wasting away, we should always strive to renew our inner self day by day. I believe in the incredible power of positive thinking. as it does wonders for a person. It is easy to feel low and lost when things are not working out the way that we wish they would have worked out. It is equally hard to be hopeful again when all hope seems to be gone down the drain. But the moment that you feel defeated, there is peace in believing that you can conquer and the power of believing that you can rise again after your fall. The book Romans 8:25 teaches us that though we may have hope for what we do not see, we should wait for it with patience and ceaseless determination. The book of Psalms 71 verse 14 further encourages to be hopeful of good things and continually give thanks amidst the turmoil that we encounter. This is a call for us to rejoice and appreciate the little blessings in our lives and nurture the power, focus, and ambition to rise above all that push us down. We have hope in our heart that we will encourage situations that we can take advantage of and become that true opportunist. In the wise words of Winston Churchill, he says, fear is a reaction, courage is a decision. The adversities in our lives might instill fear in us, but when we keep a positive can-do attitude with the desire and zeal to overcome, we find an opportunity to make what is worse better and impact growth in our lives. Us gain courage to rise above the challenges, embrace them, enjoy the experience they give us for the moment while seeking an opportunity to overcome them. From today and in all that we do, let us think about what we want and how to get it. In this way, we will develop a positive attitude that will truly change our lives for the better. That essay says we need a positive attitude to approach opportunities after being disgusted and not winning at life. So let's take a look at what is positive thinking. Positive thinking or healthy thinking is a way to help you stay well or cope with a health problem by changing how you think. It's based on research that shows that you can change how you think, and how you think affects how you feel. If you think in a positive way, you may be more able to care for yourself and handle life's challenges. You will feel better, and you may be more able to avoid or cope with stress, anxiety, and depression. Healthy thinking also involves calming your mind and body. You can use one or more techniques. These techniques include meditation, yoga, muscle relaxation, or guided imagery. People work with a therapist or a counselor with the approach of learning how to relax and avoid stress in certain situations. But you can also practice healthy thinking on your own. Focusing on the bad and not the good is an example of negative or distorted thinking. You can teach yourself to watch for negative thinking. You can ask yourself, how true or how helpful are your thoughts? What did my boss say exactly? Were these positive comments? Why do I focus only on one criticism? You can learn to see that the harsh things you say to yourself may keep you from enjoying your life and enjoying your work. With time and practice, you can learn to tell yourself more accurately and help the statements that you say to yourself. You might say, I've done a good job this year, and my boss noticed it. She thought there was only one area I could improve in. So I think of something I can do to make myself stronger in that area. I'm not going to obsess over it, nor am I going to beat myself up over it. I recently learned that I can be the prophet of my life.
Please take a moment to listen to these alarming statistics. According to a recent New York Times article, the U.S. suicide rate surged to a 30-year high in 2015. In fact, in the last 15 years alone, the suicide rate for girls aged 10 to 14 tripled. Middle-aged women saw a 63% increase, and for middle-aged men, the rate grew by 43%. These statistics are devastating. People of all ages and walks of life are unhappy, desperate, and without hope. And the problem is getting worse. My name is Gloria Lee, and I'm here to tell you that there is an answer. You are the prophet of your life. You can control your destiny and shape your future. You can live a better, more fulfilling life. You can change the course you're on. You Are the Prophet of Your Life is a new book that I've written and that I am glad to be able to share with you or anyone you know who may be personally suffering. Nobody needs to suffer in silence. This book will show you how to be the author of a new chapter in your life. It will show you what you need to do to be happy, successful, and sure of yourself and your future. I have found that it's in your darkest hours that you can discover your true self, the brilliant light within all of us that can never, ever be dimmed. You learn how to make informed decisions that will enrich your soul, enlighten your mind, and show you that you have the capacity to make permanent, positive changes in your life. You are the prophet of your life. Many of us live our lives, but few live their dreams. As prophets of our lives, we have the capacity. We can also attain our most lofty dreams. Ask yourself, do you want to have rewarding personal relationships? Do you want to run a successful business? Do you want to raise a beautiful, happy family? Whatever your dreams are, they are all possible if you have the roadmap, the set of instructions on how to achieve these goals. You have them now in You Are the Prophet of Your Life. No one has to live a life of mediocrity, settling with whatever comes their way. This book provides practical guidance on how you can move from just dreaming of having a better life into making it become your reality. Please join me in watching this short video on how you can realize that you really are the prophet of your life. Listen, negative thoughts interfere with the wonderful life you are meant to live. You Are the Prophet of Your Life will show you how to live positively no matter what your current situation is. Don't let problems stand in your way of a happy and successful life. Learn how to overcome even the most difficult challenges you may face. Think of your life from today on as a new building in which you are the architect. You are the builder of the greatest life you can live. It's up to you to determine what course your life takes starting today. Because, my friend, you are truly the prophet of your life. Every day life throws challenges at us, and it's how we choose to handle them that makes all the difference. You can decide the course of your life from today onward. You can be your own prophet. Some of the key messages discussed in the book include being consistent in what you say and what you believe. A problem that most of us are guilty of is inconsistency. We are destined to fail when we allow negative thoughts and beliefs to impact what we say, not only to ourselves, but to others. Being inconsistent in one's beliefs translates to sowing seeds of doubt and unbelief. The famous saying is true that whatever you sow, you will reap. Always endeavor to be consistent in what you say and speak to others exuding faith, happiness, and wellness. Being pessimistic is dangerous. Do you get up in the morning telling yourself it's going to be a horrible day? No matter how bad your yesterday was, it should never stop you from being optimistic today. Being a pessimist is a recipe for suffering. It prevents you from seeing the positives in your life. You must realize that you are in control of what you think. Most importantly, positive thoughts lead to positive actions. Why get up in the morning telling yourself it's going to be a horrible day? Why tell yourself you are meant for the doom and not the fortune? Being pessimistic sets you up for a miserable life. It prevents you from seeing the positives in your life. You must realize that you're in control of what you think. Most importantly, you must always remember it is positive thinking that will make you a better person. The importance of reading scriptures. You don't need to believe in God to read scriptures. There are lessons that anyone can learn and gain inspiration from. Reading the Bible can help liberate you from negative thinking. God's words exude hope and positivity. God tells man that he can look forward to a great life by living righteously and not violating others. Nothing is as powerful as this. The need to investigate your emotions. Being the prophet of your life involves you being in control of your emotions. Investigating our emotions requires self-examination, which for some is painful. Most of us are scared to make mistakes, so we hesitate to make tough decisions. No matter how difficult investigating your emotions can be, you must never shy away from it. When you are not in touch with your emotions, you are destined to live a life out of control. Take control of your life. Taking authority over your life involves you investigating your emotions. A lot of us fail in this regard. Investigating our emotions requires self-examination, which is usually painful. Apart from this, most of us are scared of making mistakes. Thus, we tend to prefer to oscillate back and forth between two kingdoms than taking tough decisions. Irrespective of how difficult investigating your emotions can be, you must never shy away from it. When you do not investigate your emotions, you are inviting others to take control of your life. You are the prophet of your life. A lot of us have found ourselves in threatening scenarios: a cheating husband or a cheating wife, an unwanted pregnancy, extreme poverty, and many others. We were faced with making decisions which could either make us or mar us. While some of us were able to scale through, others weren't lucky enough. Well, it's not that the women that couldn't make it through were foolish or less deserving. Most of the time, they were just unlucky to be victims of the weak belief system of the society we find ourselves. By living positively, you can solve a number of personal problems that could stand in your way of a happy and successful life. Think of your life as a new building, for which you are the architect. You can decide how many bathrooms or bedrooms you put in there. Think of your life as a vehicle for which you are the driver. You can decide when to stop or accelerate. Think of your life as a ship on a stormy sea, for which you are the sailor. You have to sail to safety, otherwise the ship will capsize. Only you can determine your course. Only you can decide which direction you want to go. You can liberate yourself. The book, You Are the Prophet of Your Life, was written to help people all across the world to stand and confront the monsters in our lives for the sake of the future of our children. This book takes into cognizance the millions of people in the world who have lost their lives solely because they were poor and were unable to control their environment. If the book You Are the Prophet of Your Life has a positive change on just one person's life and saves them from living a life full of hopelessness and despair, then it will have been worth it to me. But I know the impact this way of life has already had on me, and my goal is to share the message with as many people suffering as possible. This book is for everyone, male or female. This is the story of your life, and you are its only writer. Let You Are the Prophet of Your Life be your companion to help guide you through life's obstacles. Let it be the beacon of light to awaken your best you. A Chinese proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You should never be afraid of taking the bold step. You want a change of career at 40? Go for it. You need to acquire a new skill to boost your income? Go for it. You love someone but are scared to tell them? Come on, do it now. No one would kill you for that. It's the story of your life. You don't let anyone else but you be the writer. You can look beyond the facade of whatever despair and disappointment you are currently facing. Don't ever look down on yourself. If you ever have to look down, make sure it's your shoes you're admiring. You need a companion to help you through life. You need a companion to help make your decision-making a lot easier. That companion is You Are the Prophet of Your Life. Read a copy now and live the life you've always wanted. We at Touched by the Light Publishing hope you enjoyed our presentation and realize you can enjoy a more fruitful and fun-filled life after reading You Are the Prophet of Your Life.
Hi, I decided that at the end of every show for the next year, I would share excerpts from a book that I believe would enhance your life and make you a stronger thinker and problem solver. All characteristics that will help you win at life and raise stronger and healthy children. Many of you turn your nose up at reading, or you snub the advice that you must read in life to succeed, or you compare the cost of a book to getting a new pair of shoes or getting your hair done or your nails done. The reason why you make these cost comparisons is because you do not truly value a book. A book is a magnificent instrument that can change the course of your life and the lives of your children. In later shows, I plan to discuss with you how a book changed the lives of certain people. I understand that you do not earn a lot of money, and this money is valuable to you because of all the things you see advertised that you desire, and you do not want to spend a lot of money on a book. A new pair of shoes is more valuable to you than a book. If you truly cannot afford a book, then you need to go to the library and take your children with you for a day of reading. You must gird your loins and proceed at educating yourself. Some of you seem to think that having a conversation with your stupid girlfriend or your stupid boyfriend will help you more than reading a book, when actually having a conversation with your loudmouth girlfriend or loudmouth boyfriend is merely a cathartic, allowing you to blow off steam and proclaim how life has been so unfair to you. What you do not realize is that the advice coming from your do nothing girlfriend or your do nothing boyfriend is advice coming from a fool. Your do nothing girlfriend is a sexual opportunist looking for a man she can impress with her body. When her vagina fails her, what will your girlfriend do but go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's at the age of 60 and continue to spread her ignorance at church? Her daughter will be on the street and her son in prison. She will never realize that her life is the result of the decision she made not to educate herself through reading. All her life, she felt that she had something better to do than reading. She had something better to do than reading with her children. She had something better to do than working with her children. And that was going to the bar, trying to entertain a man, or trying to find some man that would buy her a pair of shoes. A man spending money on her was more important than educating herself. In later shows, I'm going to spend a great deal of time giving you some examples of fools. These are people who think they are smart, willing to trade their body and integrity for a dollar bill. These people end up in the cemetery after lamenting each and every day of their lives about their unfilled dreams. Do not be upset by the use of the word fool. You tell me if a woman is not a fool to instruct her grandson to kill her husband for a $25,000 life insurance. Let that sink in for a moment. Instead of instructing her grandson to make something of his life, the grandmother instructs her grandson to become a murderer, to kill his grandfather. I have this anecdotal advice for you about reading. Listen to this short true story. A friend and I were talking. She said a woman she knew called her and sought to renew their friendship. During their conversation, the woman told my friend that President Trump had done so much for black people, and that's why she voted for him in 2016, and she was going to vote for him again in the upcoming election. My friend asked her a question. She said, "Tell me some of the things that Trump has done for black people." The woman said, "A whole lot." My friend persisted and asked her to name one thing that Trump had done for black people. The woman could not. The woman kept using the phrase "a whole lot of things." My friend said after a while she stopped talking. Finally, the conversation was over and my friend hung up. My friend said, as she hung up, she made up her mind right then that she would never renew her friendship with this woman. Now ask yourself why. Why would she not renew her friendship with this woman? You can answer this question in two words. The woman was a poor thinker. She never investigated anything that was told to her. Whether you know it or not, a person who is a poor thinker, who does not examine his or her thinking, is a very dangerous person indeed. Think about it. Today I want to discuss the book Be Not Defeated in Hard Times. I'm introducing this book to you because I want you to realize how much you can learn about your life and the lives of others by reading. It's important that you read. Please, please start reading because reading can truly change your life. This book talks to you about fighting, standing up for yourself, believing in yourself, and changing your life. When you are faced with adversity, every human being is called upon to stand up. This book is designed to give you the strength to do just that. One of our pocket sized devotionals. With this book at your side, you can reach for encouragement, refreshment, and the strength to fight life's battles. You do not have to stick your head in the sand. You can stand up. We want to remind you that you can win at life. Life is a joyful experience that is supposed to be filled with happiness and at God's helm. This book will help you to stay mindful of your responsibilities to God and yourself. Your family will benefit from your diligence. Before you begin to read the book, Be Not Defeated in Hard Times, please read Isaiah 65, verse 24, several times. Now read the verse Jeremiah 33, verse 3. Read that several times. Now, God said in Isaiah 65:24, "And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I shall hear." Firmly implant this verse in your mind so that every time you think of praying, you will say this to yourself: God is going to hear me. God said, before I finish praying, he shall answer me. Yet here I want you to stop for a second. There is one rub in this passage that sends people reeling. You will be right in believing God will hear you and he will answer your prayer. But he may not answer your prayer as to way that you wish. He may provide what he thinks is right for you, but you may not be in agreement. What you pray for may not be what you need. Therefore, when we do not receive what we have prayed for, we think that there is not a God or God doesn't care for us. You must understand that God can see further down the road than you. You may be praying to purchase your first Cadillac, but God knows one of your children will develop a life-threatening disease and you will need more money to hold your house together. So if you purchase a Cadillac, will you have to wait until the emergency blows over? Think about it. You will need that money if your child develops a life-threatening illness. Read Isaiah 65, verse 24 to yourself each day. This will keep you hopeful. It will give you courage to face the day. This passage tells you you can rely upon God. This passage is one of the most powerful verses in the Bible. It is the foundation of your relationship with God. He says, I shall answer you before you finish speaking. Man cannot perform this as well. Man has to consult his maps and charts before he can tell you about the weather. And man surely cannot tell you what will occur in the future. Count on God. That is correct. Count on God. Stop relying on the world to tell you what to do. Now consider this. In the 1960s, man told women that it was all right to shack up with a man. We will no longer judge you harshly. It is okay for you to have a baby and not be married. You can just stand on a mound of grass and pledge yourself to one another, and that will be fine. Well, what is the results of this promise? Devastation. We have 25 million children running around this country living without their fathers, and many of them have been turned into monsters. No, no, not one of these children is eligible for Social Security because they do not bear their father's name. Their father's name is absent from their birth certificate. The male children who have been abandoned are so filled with rage and anger that they are killing women at an escalated rate. There is a man sitting on death row in Tennessee, and he is an abomination to God. The sum total of his entire life merged into the destruction of two individuals who had never done him any harm. He murdered two strangers. How much anger he must have contained. I do not even know whether the word of God can help him. This man was sexually abused as a child, and he has not forgotten that abuse. In fact, the abuse is at the center of his thoughts every waking moment of his life. He saw two innocent people and unleashed his fury on the world. The world had destroyed his life with all its rules and regulations. Now he was going to destroy two innocent people. A murder like this also happened in Colorado, Texas, and California, where the sexually abused child responded to the world's rejection of him. Anytime society does not protect a child, that is rejection. Now, society can use its power to take a child from his mother, yet society does not use its power to protect that child from sexual abuse in the foster care system. The only thing our foster care system has done is accomplish the destruction of children. Why was there not work done to restore the family, correct what was broken, repair the broken psyche of the woman that was abandoned? No society should take a child from the bosom of their mother and let them be prey to sexual deviants who turn these children into alcoholics and dope addicts. Do you know there are women in this country with two sons on death row? The book goes on to discuss illicit drugs. It says illicit drugs use is associated with suicide, homicide, and motor vehicle injuries, HIV infection, pneumonia, violence, mental illness, and hepatitis. At least 3 million individuals in the United States have a serious drug problem. Several studies have reported an undercount of the number of deaths attributed to drugs by vital statistics. However, improved medical treatment has reduced mortalities from many diseases associated with the illegal drug use. In keeping with the report by McGuinness, we include deaths caused indirectly by illicit drug use in this category. We use attributable factions to compute the number of deaths due to illicit drugs. Overall, we estimate that illicit drugs use results in approximately 17,000 deaths in 2000, a reduction of 3,000 deaths from the 1990 report. The man who killed the two innocent people in Tennessee, he could not have been raised by a father. If he was, then his father was a very foolish, stupid man. The man on death row in Tennessee was created into this state because a woman believed the promises of a man. You can shack up with a man and have a child without the benefit of marriage, and it would be okay by the world's standards. She believed this man's promise, and the results of that promise was having a son waiting on death row until he is executed for 2 counts of first degree murder. If you can believe the promises of man, why can you not believe the promises of God? Believe this. God says, before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I shall hear. God says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. In Isaiah 41:10, God said, do not fear and do not dismay. Do not lose courage or resolution or be alarmed. God said he will strengthen you and he will help you. God is not like man. He is not like man. He does not speak and make promises that he doesn't mean. If you are in trouble and you worry a lot, you need to read the book, Be Not Defeated in Hard Times. Go to the website, touchedbythelight.us, and read the first chapter of this book.
Life is at its best when you get to the mountaintop. Nevertheless, at times we lose our way and land in the valley. Adversity comes and shakes us in fear. What do you do at such a time? Where do you get your strength when it's gone? Be Not Defeated in Hard Times is the book you need to overcome such fears and gain back your strength. It's cheap, $10.95 only. To purchase this book, log into touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications before it's out of stock.
God bless, and remember, believe in yourself and stand up. Join us at the Women of Courage show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more information. Thank you. If you do not like your life, then change it. Listen to us when we broadcast, and we can help you find a new way.